Hi guys, I'm Brett from Hearns Hobbies.
And I'm not.
You are not, you're definitely not. You are Tony Gray. And Tony joins me in the studio today as we continue episode 3 of the Tamiya BBX build. And what a fine build.
This is a good car.
Eh?
I'm enjoying. I'm just looking at the bits on the table. These lovely alloy shock bodies.
These are...
I can't wait to watch you put these together.
Yeah, that's right. Just don't watch too close on doing the E-clips. No.
Yeah.
Because you never want to do E-clips on camera. I don't know. Anyway, this is what we are up to. This is the BBX. We can have a look here on the overhead. It looks like a buggy. It's got the cage on. It's got the battery flap in. We've got front arms. And we've sort of got the rear upper arms on.
No uprights yet, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, but we will get to that. Oh, the speed controller cover is in the breeze.
I think I'll take that.
The idea in episode 3 today is hopefully we can get it nailed.
Yep.
And then you were going to take it away, paint the body, install the electrics, and then bring it back for an overview.
Then we'll bring it back for an overview, and we might even do some actual track footage.
I think we should go to the track.
And I'll get someone that can drive to actually do it.
No, that's half the fun, is crashing it. And it's quite a strong car, so let's have a look at the book. So where are we up to? We are up to step 26, which is the steering knuckles. Not to be confused with...
Well, steering kunkles is quite often called in misspelled instructions.
Is it?
Yes.
Not to be confused with moose knuckles.
No, absolutely not to be confused with those. Oh dear, looking. See,
look, he fell off his chair.
It's gonna degenerate already.
It wouldn't be any other way.
No.
All right, look, he's flustered.
Oh,
he's flustered. Let's go. Let's have a look. Well, give me a knuckle.
Give you a knuckle.
Give me some bearings.
Give you 2 knuckles.
And I need a crush tube. Now I'm a little bit simple. It's fair to say. So I just need to orientate these the way in which they are in the book to ensure that they're...
I think that's always a safe bet anyway.
Because otherwise you end up putting 2 rights together.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's good for velodrome, but not much good for anything else.
So really nice plastics here. Getting these ball studs. Really, the components on this kit are, like I keep referring to it as competition grade, but it's just good quality stuff. You know,
the tolerances are just nice. It's not too hard. It's not too easy, and that's what you want.
So looking at these here, I need C2 and C1.
Which I'm gonna.
And these are actually different size bearings.
Said before,
we've got 1050 in the back side.
Oh, I've managed to make that washer stand up.
1050 in this back side, and 1150s in the front.
Can I get the other
Who would have thought?
Oh, okay. I'm happy with that. I've got them both standing.
You good?
Yeah, we're good.
All right, give me the aquals. It's the only Spanish part on the car.
No. Oh no, that's French.
C2s, please, sir.
And then a bearing, and then a C1.
I've got the bearing on that, and a C1, please. C1.
There's that one.
Thank you, nurse. I've always wanted to play doctors and nurses with you.
Yeah, you're not the only one, but it'll cost you $500 an hour.
We get to do it for free.
Yeah.
Look at that. That is done. And my favourite trick that Tamiya taught me, the old body clip in the aqual. I need a C2, sorry. C2 first, which is the narrow one.
Narrow one. Just checking to make sure I haven't got it wrong.
Narrow one goes on the axle, it works as a spacer. And then C1 goes in as the crush tube. It's really good that they have plastic spacers. I actually built the Yokomo RO 1.0 the other day, which is an entry-level Yokomo competition buggy, and that's got plastic spacers too.
Okay.
So there you go. I hadn't really seen them in a kit before. Now we need the bucket. So I need 4...
There, buckets?
Yeah, I'll get the buckets in. If you can get me the M3x14s with these washers on them, please. I'll get the buckets located into the pivot balls. Takes me back to an old TV show Mum used to watch.
Pivot balls?
Bouquets.
Keeping up appearances?
I don't know.
with hyacinth bouquet. I think that
look, here you go. You know all about it.
Yeah, but as we discussed before, I'm incredibly old.
Lovely day today. You drove in today. The utter confidence that we're going to get this finished.
Yeah, complete confidence, because I thought I have to take this home and I have to take the MBO1 box home. Sorry, the MBO1 box goes to Tim's.
Does it?
Yeah, oh yeah.
I could have posted it for you.
Yeah, but he only lives about 3 kilometres from here.
So I'm going to put this screw in. Put this off of the steering knuckle up. Now the biggest thing that I've come across here is actually all the angles. And it's a ball, so you've got to ensure that you are actually screwing it in straight.
Perpendicular.
You could, in fact, use a...
Yeah, you're not actually anywhere near the hole.
You heard it here first.
Yes. This is going to degenerate into a pink helmet discussion again.
Circumference.
Yeah.
I'm all dizzy and weak. But you can see here it's a little bit awkward, even more so because I am on camera. So I've got the pivot ball, the bucket.
Yeah. And you don't have the ability to swear at something when it doesn't work.
Well, I'm trying. The tongue nearly come out then.
Yep.
And because the clearances are quite
tight,
it doesn't leave you much wiggle room. It's not like building a TT02 front end, for example, but uses a very similar approach.
Indeed it does. I built one the other week.
But this one here is far superior in every way, shape and form. So I'm just keeping it all nice and straight.
I can confirm that because I've got a good view from here.
Good.
Look at that.
Then we'll get it home. Oh, look out. Look.
And I'd like to announce to everybody that BJ's just arrived with
That's the sound.
appropriate sustenance. Even though it's pouring rain outside, he's probably sent some lackey across the road to do it.
What have we got there, Beach?
We
got some.
Your hair's not wet. Your head is not wet, so you've sent someone else.
Maybe. Here we go. We got some.
Yo, open the box. Show me what's in there.
What do you mean?
Don't just tease me. Don't be such a donut tease.
Yeah, all right. Open it up.
Look at that.
Oh, French ring.
Like, need I say, French ring.
What do we got here?
Oh.
Are they all right?
Oh, someone's weed on that one.
Well, some people like it, some people don't, right?
Yeah,
That's why there's different
no,
ones.
that was good.
All right, I'll leave them there.
I'm a sucker for a
can-
French ring.
You guys can attack it. When you
I've heard that.
Yeah.
Where are you up to?
We are up to
Put
the
one front
steering.
knuckle on. We would have got.
We've got one
further,
knuckle.
but
We were getting.
we were too busy talking about him not being able to find the hole.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
I had an issue before, but
Yep.
But it seems
once
you've,
was lost,
you've
now
solved
is
that.
found.
Okay.
Yeah, we're all good now.
Oh, I see you're doing the classic Tamiya instructions of putting the body clip
Yes.
in the
He
Oh,
axle.
that's my favourite thing.
stop the bearings from falling out.
Yeah, I did a TTO2 build at home the other week, and I did that. And I thought, if it wasn't for Brett, I wouldn't have known that.
There you go. Yeah.
Do you know when I actually learnt that? Was doing the comical.
Oh, was it?
Doing the comical build. That was.
there you go.
maybe
It
one
just
of my
shows how
first
much
ever
attention
Tamiyas.
I didn't pay to building
Well,
comics.
it wasn't always in a Tamiya manual, and it's something they just crept in over the years. And I guess if you're used to building a car a particular way, then you don't bother looking
No,
at
I
it
do
that
it.
bit, do you?
No, I do it on everything.
There you go, see?
I follow that through with me.
I probably didn't notice because I farm half my builds out because I can't be bothered
Well, there you
anymore.
go. Well, that's another reason, isn't it?
Well, you should be utilising that sewing table of yours.
Well, I am.
It looks like you guys are under control, aren't you?
Yeah, we're good now that we've got donuts.
Comfortably out of control.
Yeah, keep your energy levels up. All right, cool. I'll leave you to it. I'll be back a bit later.
In fact, my wife asked me this morning before will you be getting donuts again today? I said, that's up to BJ.
Well, if nothing else, we know that we're going to start Online Fury. My favourite thing.
Is it? Look at that.
I'm just making sure here, without rushing into it, that we are in fact
No, that's good.
getting it nice and square for you.
I have a
don't-
vested interest in this being put together correctly.
Yeah, I know, well. But it is always a little bit different building on set.
Yeah, but the good thing is we can fix it up later and no one will know.
No one will know. Like,
No
if we put something in backwards or upside down, they might not pick it up.
What,
and then-
like a battery tray?
Well, that wouldn't happen.
No.
Wrong screws.
No. It wouldn't happen. See? But no one, through the magic of movies as I mentioned last week in my own Facebook post.
Look at
Look
that.
at that. Oh,
That is a nice rack.
that's amongst the finest racks I've seen this morning. Mind you, it is wet outside, so there's potential for more.
Right. Step 27.
We can take the chassis away for the right
We can
now.
take it away.
We can
So
take it.
we are going to start
That can
on
go in here.
the shock absorbers, damper units, whatever you want to call them.
Do we?
I need shock shafts and clips, please. My favourite. While you're finding those parts, I'm going to...
just do a bit of hairstyling.
I'm going to... That's right.
I was going to ask
gonna
whether we had any appropriate.
I'm going to explain to the viewers, I'm going to not use the kit supplied oil. Unknown substance, really.
Unknown viscosity.
Yeah. Damper oil, soft. It could be canola, could be olive, I just don't know. But I'm going to use XTR 30 weight, and 30 weight just because it's the middle of the road. Might not be perfect, but it definitely won't be too bad. It'll be in the ballpark, and for the intended purpose, it's going to be nice.
I
So
find it interesting that you went 30 because that's my default too.
yeah,
I automatically put
on
30
road,
weight.
off road,
Doesn't matter.
That's a starting point.
You know what you've got though.
Yeah, if you need to go hard, then you can go up 10 weights, and then as you get the setup closer, then you can drop down 5 weights.
Yep.
I don't like using quarter weight oils, just because I'm not good enough.
Yeah.
And this one here is a tub of XTR O-ring grease. Now I use this is a rubber grease, and I use that on all my shock builds and diff builds, and it needs an O-ring or oil because it just helps protect the O-rings. So what this is actually going to do is create a layer or a seal around the O-rings, or in this case X-rings, so the oil, the silicone oil of the damper fluid doesn't come into direct contact with the O-ring because that can cause it to swell. It will happen over time.
I've got some blue pills that cause
Won't
things
happen.
to swell.
Ah, this guy. I've already got my finger in it. I couldn't help it.
Yep.
This is where the mess starts, and it's not going to finish for the next hour. There'll be no donut eating going
I
on.
was going to say, I want to see you pick a donut up right now.
Wouldn't be the first time I've had a stinky donut.
No. I'm deliberately not responding to that. I'm trying to maintain a degree of professionalism.
That's beneath you.
Yeah, I know
Now,
it
if
is.
you could pass me the gizmo, because another thing here when I'm building shocks, the black plastic
one.
thing on the end.
Oh,
The
okay.
black, no, this one.
Oh, that. I can't see that. It's black in the black toolbox.
This here is the 9 steps gizmo, and when I'm working with shock O-rings and stuff like that, I prefer not to use hobby knives.
Why would that be, Brett? Due to
or-
their sharpness?
Yeah, or even, machined tungsten steel parts, So you just don't want to put any, and I'm just going to go ahead and dunk these little X-rings in here. Try not to lose them in the grease. There should be 8 all up. There's 2 in each shock.
Yeah, I was going to show people the profile of the X-ring, but they're so small I doubt it's possible.
Here, we'll stick it on here, and we can macro. We'll get some zoom going on. Put it in front of be down here somewhere.
Down here somewhere.
There you go.
Yeah,
See?
you can just see the.
Oops, stop that rocking.
It's not an O-ring.
It's an X-ring,
So
isn't it? And it's really common. The first I actually saw them was in motorbike chains. That's how your DID and your motorbike chains, your high performance motorbike chains have these. And then next thing they start appearing in.
My bike's got a belt.
It's not a bike.
It's more just an engine with wheels.
It is, isn't it? Can I please have...
Don't ask for the gizmo.
Space, no, not the gizmo. There's
W1.
going to be W1 and
these are all in-
A17, which is going to be the cartridge.
W1.
So like I
There should
said,
be
I'm not
there should
using
be
any
4
sharp
of
tools
these.
here. Just giving these X-rings.
Now the manual wants us to do fronts then rears, but we're just going to do them all
Yes.
because it makes
Instead of
sense to
stopping
do
and
so.
starting, making mess twice.
Because that will cut into your donut time.
Wow. And that's like, oh, I can smell them.
Yeah.
No?
I thought that was you.
No. Well, All right, while you are
While
getting
I'm
me some
searching
parts,
for the A parts,
I'm going to
Tree.
get these shock shafts and start on my favourite thing on camera, which probably should have been done before I put grease on my hands. So I'm getting little E-clips here. And I find the first ones harder to get on than the second ones. But
Yeah, I think it's much of a muchness. They just suck no matter what.
so the first one, what I like to do is locate it onto the shaft, put it down and press onto the paper, and then hear it click.
Yep,
It did click.
the click is the thing that matters. If it doesn't click, the moment you let it go,
It'll flick
it's going to
across
head that way. It may land on a donut if we're lucky.
And the reason I'm actually doing it on the paper is very deliberate, because it's got the right amount of traction on it.
Yep.
If you did it on a hard surface, a bit of glass
Or
or
it'll be
laminate,
okay on the mat.
might actually cut into the mat. The mat might be too soft. So
Yeah.
just put it in the groove. Again, face it down. Click.
Just doing a bit of extra trimmage on these. They didn't cut too clean.
They're only the internal travel
no.
limiters. I only need 2 of those.
Yeah.
2 of the travel limiters, which are the white ones. I need
Yep.
4 of the black plastic ones, because they go in the cartridge between the 2 O-rings, X-rings.
X-rings.
X-rings just doesn't...
Yeah.
So if I refer to them as O-rings, you know what I mean.
Yeah. You just a little bit further up the alphabet.
That is 4 done. That was relatively...
That was surprisingly
Pain-free.
painless.
Now, there is different pistons, front and rear. So the front ones are W5, please, Mr. Gray. And I know that these are front ones because these are shorter.
Yes.
So let's not confuse these. And they're actually undergated on the parts tray. So when they come off, they absolutely give a beautiful round finish. These are both 5s.
They are both 5s.
Beautiful. Now I don't have my favourite pair of pliers to this day, so I'm flying a little bit blind. Obviously I can't do the paper trick now because the piston's on.
I'm just going to cover my eyes now because...
Are you?
yeah, just in case that one heads over here.
So I push it down, keep it all straight. Click.
Oh, the satisfying click.
That is done.
Yep.
And the best thing is now the modern cars that I race anyway, I'm assuming most brands actually have a nut.
Yeah.
And that is the best thing, because when you are
so good.
tuning your race car at the track, you don't want to be dealing with this. But we would have had a thing of spares.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you would just flick them off, try and get them on
Because
par for the course.
If some people like doing this bit inside a big ass plastic bag, but I just find I breathe on it and I can't see it, and
That's right.
It just doesn't work. But if you really unco, sometimes it's the way to go.
Well, and that does happen. Happens to the best of us. And you can buy spares. It's not like they're rocking horse. Like they are just industrial 2mm.
Yeah, I've got a huge box of them.
Click. That is the
Look at
front
that.
one's done.
I'd
Did
say
you like that?
that is success.
The rear, the rear pistons, before I go any further, they are, looking at the book, W4s.
Fours.
Got the rear shock shafts here. A bit of a giveaway with the rears is they're longer. So fronts, shorter bodies, and that's pretty unanimous across most off-road RC vehicles. I haven't seen any different.
No.
But I haven't worked on a 10th Technology Predator for a while.
Yeah, no one has. What, Solar got one?
I think he wishes he had one.
I had the first one into Australia many, many years ago. It was interesting.
It was a beautiful piece of machinery.
But it was way too complex for...
What the intended purpose.
Yeah.
Taking a few stabs at this one. What's going on? Click. The silence.
Yeah.
No?
No, that's fine. I'm gonna null these.
Last one. Last clip.
Just in the hope that Chris Putnam is watching.
I like the way that they're giving us spares. which is nice.
Yeah.
Not a single one there.
Yeah.
So if it comes, you might hear if this one shoots across the road, or hopefully the donut will stop it.
Yeah.
That would make a good viewing. No, stopped by the French ring.
French ring avec E-clip. That wasn't a satisfactory click, but it still worked.
It did click.
It did click.
And you can check it just by rotating it. It will spin like under duress, but it will be located into that groove. It won't just flick out. There we are. That is your pistons on.
Yep.
And like I said, this is my least favourite thing to do on camera that we can talk about on this show. But yeah. All right. Now these A17s, these black ones.
Yeah.
I'm going to need 4 of those.
Yeah, no, 4 of those.
They go. There should be 2 on each parts tree, I
hang
reckon.
on, I think I've got another A. Yes, there they are.
Because they go 1 in each cartridge. So it goes O-ring, spacer, O-ring. And that's very conventional. The spacer, the shock guide, whatever you want to call it.
Shocks, that's just reminded me. I was meant to bring in some shocks for you to put on the MBO1.
Ah, that would have been good.
Yeah, I know where they are. On the table to remind me to bring in here today. And I failed dismally.
Well,
I'll be in again probably.
yeah, you were halfway there, and that means something.
Yeah.
No?
I had they're brand new as well.
Oh, that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Do they have 30 weight in them?
Not yet.
Oh, they're brand new.
They're brand new.
Okay.
Like, still in this form.
Yeah, I think the little Mini. Did we come up with a
steering solution?
Steering solution?
Not
yet?
as yet.
Timmy,
It's out
because he
there.
measured it, I thought 35 minutes later he would have had
No.
a Dremel picture up of...
It's out there in the world, but no one on RC Tech, where people talk a lot but don't actually know anything.
Is that still a thing?
Yeah.
Is
yeah,
it?
They're all saying there's nothing wrong with it. It's perfectly fine. You don't know what you're talking about.
Jeez, I haven't been on RC Tech for years.
You haven't missed much. I didn't go on there, Mr. Boundy, the discoverer of the lack of steering. Well, of why it is like that, posted on there, and they
Shut him down.
poo-pooed him.
What would you know?
Yeah, what would you know? Yeah, well,
15 odd years of racing minutes.
yeah. So we have yet to. He hasn't told me that he's found a way around it, which concerns me. I thought if anyone's going to know a way around it.
Just going to move the instructions up here. They've
Yeah.
got a nice little box there where you can read the instructions
And also, it can cover up the donuts to stop that fly that's
That's
in
right.
here.
So, I've got the O-ring, the X-rings in. I've got the shock shaft guide. I'm going to put 1 O-ring on here.
Can you do it like Alan Seal, the gardening guy? No, shock shaft.
Shock
The
shaft.
one that got, he used to whistle when he did the S.
I can't do that. I can
No, I'm not great at it either.
whistling.
I can whistle, but I can't do it when I say the S.
The shock shaft seal.
Yeah.
I can do something like that, but
Yeah,
I
that'll
don't
do.
want to risk offending anybody.
No, I'm sure someone will be. I think anyone that's easily offended will have turned this off some time ago. I consider turning it off myself.
Putting O-rings on here. Now, these shocks, that's probably often why Tamiya don't include competition style shocks in a lot of their kits, because they are quite complicated
Yes.
and they are quite tedious.
I find it fascinating that,
But
that they've done it in this.
I
Because,
actually take great pride, being a racer or ex-racer or whatever you want to call it. I do love nice shocks. And it doesn't matter whether I'm building a Tamiya, a Yokomo, whatever it is, a HB, it's always very similar. And I don't know why I do it, but I just do. It's one of those things.
yeah.
So I put the bottom retainer,
Didn't the doctor say he can give you some cream for that?
that's right. So I put the bottom retainer on. The cartridge is packed. Now I don't pre-tension that because I don't want to squeeze it up, but I do want to retain it all in there.
Yeah.
Because the next thing I'm going to do is ram the shaft through the X-rings.
Yeah, it's a bit obvious that one. It's not really no point going there.
So, and the front shock does have the travel limiter, So make sure I've got the right shafts, yes. Put the travel limiter on,
The shovel limiter.
and then into
I've noticed
front shock
we
body.
just eased into doing what we did last week, and we're just shit's happening.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's getting done.
Yeah, I'm surprised by this.
So because the cartridge has got grease in it and I can see it coming through, there's no need for me to grease the thread. But I am doing it very delicately. Like I said, the bottom, the O-rings or the X-rings aren't preloaded. That's still loose. So I'm going to run that all the way to the bottom.
There's no way around this. This is going to be messy.
And then at this point, I do the bottom cartridge up. Just by hand. And then I'll put the bottom shock on. Now, it doesn't actually give an overall shock length. This is where I need, and you need to invest in shock pliers or soft jaw pliers or whatnot, because this is when you need them. This is why they were invented. The instruction does say that you can use a piece of tape and pliers, but not when you've got these Aromax soft shock pliers. They're hard anodized, but they're shocked pliers. And you would have seen me use these with great joy.
Oh, I did earlier.
Arms,
Yeah.
Using that. So here's the other
I had to have a sit down in a cold shower after
primary
watching that
feature.
last time.
Grab the shock shaft and spin away. And now I'm not causing any damage on that whatsoever.
Yeah.
If you do get stuck in the field, there is a few other tricks you can do, like grabbing with the side cutters on the thread.
I use
under
side
the top
cutters
of the
right
thread.
on the very edge of the thread.
You can do that.
I like the fact that
unless-
we both do that.
Yes, off of camera, because it's not advised, but now
Again,
what I'm doing is, it doesn't give me a shock length, I'm just feeling where the thread stops. And at this point now I've got the shock in my hand, I'm going to preload the O-rings. I'm going to do that up as tight as I can, sort of thing, relatively speaking, without it binding or crushing the O-rings. And that is perfect. So we want it to be firm, but not dragging. And that is a silky smooth. And I can't hear it like whizzing in the body, like zoop, zoop. And that's because there's a little bit of blow-by. That's probably the way it was designed.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have done that. That wouldn't be a miscalculation.
No, that would be deliberate.
And by blow-by, if that's the bypass, it's a little bit of clearance in the, let's get a focus.
There's clearance between the piston and the shock body. Well, there's always has to be clearance, but they would design in a certain amount of clearance.
Struggling to get this focus.
Yeah.
Maybe I've got it over-zoomed. Here we go.
That's close enough.
Here we
Oh,
go.
look at that.
So this is that bypass or that blow-by clearance I was talking about. But that wouldn't be a miscalculation. That's exactly what it would have been designed to do. And that is what's a Teflon or Delron material? It's a white, very hard plastic.
Probably Delron.
Very hard, very resistant, very expensive for them to make. That's why there's only little part trees of certain components.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah. And they do come with a few spare tuning options in pistons. Pistons are critical in the performance of off-road performance. Here's an overview of the shock.
It's a nice shock body.
Isn't it? Really, really good. They are fiddly and they are time consuming, but it's worth spending a bit of time.
I expected CVA shocks in this one just to keep the price
Well, that's
down.
the go-to, isn't it?
Yeah, but they didn't. They went full alloy and it's nice.
Now, without using measuring, I'll show you how I measure my overall shock length without the need of a hobbyist standard, I suppose. Most of us have got vernier calipers on the bench, unless we're in the studio. So I'll show you how I check my shock length without calipers. Ooh, what are you into there?
I know I have to remount a little thing in here, so I thought I might attempt it now.
I'm going to preload these O-rings again, or X-rings. And this is a time when I can get both shocks feeling the same without any oil. Just these little bits that make cars feel nicer. And there's no science. I mean, there probably is a science machine behind it. It's just feel, just making sure they've got they've got the same amount of drag or preload. Beautiful. Really happy with that. So now what I will do is I will actually check the piston clearance at the top of the travel. And you can see here, one of them, this one here, has probably got a little bit more up travel. So it needs to be screwed in probably another half or quarter of a turn. Can you see that? It's just a little bit proud. So it's just a tiny bit. Most people wouldn't bother, but we're going to go that little bit. Look at that. See, look.
Oh, that's bang on.
That makes all the difference. Just that little turn. Well, it probably won't make any difference.
While you're doing that, we have a tiny little dimple in the top of the shock cap.
A dimple.
Here.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm just using the 1mm God hand reamer. It says to drill it. I'm just using this. You can just do it by hand and just.
And what that's going to do is create an oil gallery or air gallery to bleed the shocks. Because there's obviously a part of their tooling that wouldn't let them do that.
I'm doing that in all four of the
Just checking the rear shocks, make sure that there's no front shocks done. Rear shocks, I can put this grease, oh no, I need this a little bit more. Rear shocks here on the bench, exactly the same technique. So there's no preload on the O-rings, put the shaft through, get the excess grease off. Have I got shock ends for these ones? The X1s? Can I have two X1s, please, sir? These ones? Is it?
Oh, I didn't cut them off. I did the others and didn't do those.
Arthur.
I'm sorry, sir.
That's all right.
I've
Change your name to Arthur.
I've failed.
Arthur job.
Not
That was good, wasn't it? That was
oh,
classic.
That's
Hey? That was classic punning.
The views on this video will go up by at least 1 or 2 just because of that joke.
Have you got any friendly jokes that you can tell on camera?
No, they just sort of come out as things happen. I don't have a store of them.
Why do ducks have feathers on their behind?
I need to know.
It's got to cover up their butt quack.
Yeah, well.
You like that?
Yeah.
No?
I like the
You can use that, that's a takeaway.
I drove 45 minutes in here in the pouring rain just to hear that.
Did you bring the little one or the big one? You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, I bought
the city car.
I bought the in-between one.
Oh, you bought the wife's car.
I bought the wife's car.
I was going to say, a little deck van wouldn't like the wet weather too much, would it?
She was a little bit concerned about me driving it in this sort of weather.
It does have four-wheel drive.
Yeah, as we discovered yesterday.
Does the light come on the dash? Did you push the button?
No, I haven't pushed the button.
In case something happens.
I'm a bit scared I might break something. So
that's cool. I didn't realise that it was a little four-wheel drive unit.
It is.
That makes it even more appealing.
It does, because it has a ground clearance of about 50 mil.
It's more just for a bit of grass work when you're parking at the track with a velodrome.
No, the big thing in all over, well, in Japan in particular, is they put lift kits on them.
Lift kits?
Lift kits, so it raises the entire body up at 150 mil or so. That gives them a lot of clearance.
That'd be good for the centre of gravity.
And then they put big ass off-road wheels and tyres on them. And I don't see the point, but hey.
It'd be like driving on stilts already, I would have thought.
It'd be weird. And bigger wheels.
How does it go in the wind? A bit slower? Does it tip about or not really?
It's not. We've got to remember I drive the Transit normally and it gets fairly affected by the wind due to its size.
It's girth.
Yeah.
Can you say that?
You can say that. However, yeah, the wind like we had here last night, I'm not sure I want to be taking it out.
Did you have curry again?
I did not, no.
So what I'm doing here, folks, is putting the O-rings on the top of the damper unit, and this is going to seal the caps on. I did put a little bit of grease first. Again, try not to use any tools, don't want to risk damaging the O-rings. These ones here are just going to create a seal, not the Aquarius type. That's right, I knew that was coming.
I didn't want to let you down.
You never do.
No, I'm here to provide comic relief and the occasional bit of useful information.
And this is, like I said, shocks are a time-consuming job. Now, we've checked the levels, we've got the clips on, the shock shafts are together. Next thing that we're going to do is fill these suckers with oil.
You've got to have a shock stand.
You've really got to. You can use other things that act as shock stands.
But
Beer bottles is one of them. You don't want to be doing shocks on your fourth beer though. So now,
you'll end up filling them up with beer.
Filling shocks. I usually keep the fronts and...
What oil have you got in your shocks? I've got Foster's.
That's right. Canola and olive. So I usually like to go to halfway or probably a third of the way down in travel, and I'm going to start filling with oil. And now I'm going to quickly pull it all the way down, and hopefully I've got most of the air out in one go.
You do it the same way as I do.
Really?
Yeah, it's exactly what I do.
Must just come with years of experience. I don't know it's the right way. And just slowly pushing it up and spinning the shock shaft at the same time, just to make sure that there's no air trapped under the piston.
Because we've got a fair bit of blow-by on that piston, it should be relatively easy to get it all out, I think.
Now the reason you want to do it nice and slow and smooth is to avoid creating champagne bubbles, because that will slow the bleeding process down.
Yeah.
Now it's an emulsion style shock, so it's not going to be devoid of all air. They're actually not my favourite shocks. I don't like emulsion shocks.
They speak well of you.
Yeah, I do. I'm a bladder man. Bladder man from way back.
Yeah. Now, if we've done that right, sorry, if you've done that right, by the time we get to the fourth one, that one should be okay.
That's right. So I'm going to stick this one over here. That was a rear one.
Yeah.
And again, probably a third of the way down. Got a rear one in my hand. Fill it above the piston.
And the one we've already done is sitting there, and the oil's almost level with the top, so it should be about right.
Fill it to the top and pull it down in one go. Fill the oil all the way to the top. Silence.
Yeah, I'm watching it.
Do we really do it the same way?
Yeah, we do. Exactly the same way.
Wow, I was actually hoping for a point of difference there, because it is quite a personal...
Yeah, but that's exactly what I do.
And usually, like at the track, it's even better, like when you're not doing brand new shocks, because it will have a little bit of oil in there. And when you're racing off-roading particularly, you can find it, in the heat of competition, you can change your shock oil, I don't know, once or twice in a day in a race meeting, if you're chasing the track, because the track does evolve quite a bit. A lot of them do. Some of them, like Kilo, not so much.
Yeah.
But I went to Knox the other day, local Victorian track, and it's very old school.
Very old school.
And it was really cool, actually. But yeah, the track did change. I didn't make any changes because my driving's not up to it. But yeah, I had a blast. Had an absolute blast.
Driving the new Yokomo.
Yep. And also the competition one in two-wheel mode. Had a crack at that. I do love it.
Were you shit?
I was not too bad.
Yeah?
Yeah, I was not too bad. I surprised myself, actually.
And everybody else.
Yes, yes, everybody else. And Knox is very, we were talking about this the other night on the show, but Knox is somewhere that's very dear to me, because it's the first place I ever raced. So, yeah. And it's still really my local. I can't figure out why I've not been back there in quite some time. But with the Worlds announced for 2025...
I don't think it's going to be at Knox.
I'm going to be a little bit more... but Hearns Hobbies is going to be a little bit more focused and present on 1/10 off-road.
That is pretty cool. The Worlds are going to be here. I did go to the Worlds when they were last here.
That was Sydney. The last time they were here, wasn't it? 89?
89.
That was the last time they were here.
Yep.
It's taken that long. We may as well call it 35 years.
Yeah.
No?
Yes. Let's call it that.
We'll call it 35 years. Like it's...
I've been racing for like 3 years at that stage.
Yeah?
Yep.
Now I sort of started too high in the stroke there, so I just pulled it down a bit.
Yep. Oh,
No,
nice
one-
big
that
bubble
was-
there.
That's what we're looking for.
Yep.
Sort of, it's almost like a Zen meditative thing
Yeah.
doing shocks.
I don't mind doing shocks.
No,
I don't like the
I don't like
E-clips,
doing them
no.
in a, no, no one likes the E-clips.
No.
But in the modern competition ones, like I said, they're retained by a nut.
Yeah, and it's just so easy.
I'm trying to think, the screw. No, the screws have gone. I think there used to be a screw, but then the screws used to fall out the end.
Yeah. I have a vague memory of doing at least one set like that. Like that.
There we go.
And I'm looking across at that first one we did, and I can see the surface completely uninterrupted by bubbles.
Yep. I'm going to fill this one a little bit. Get it crowning.
If you're super keen, you can like leave them overnight.
You can leave them overnight, put them in a shock pump, all sorts of things, but
But-
that's an emulsion shock. It's never going to be devoid of,
Yeah,
of air.
you're always going to get air in there.
Emulsion shock, man, it doesn't have a bladder, so
There's air in there and oil as well.
that's why they call it an emulsion shock.
Yep.
The mixing of oil. So yeah, so Tony has put the... You've done this across the range, haven't you?
I have.
So that little hole there had to be made, and that's in the instructions. And that's going to give us a little oil relief. Now, one thing I do like to do is actually start threading this
Yeah.
screw before I get it all oily. So these screws, I'm tipping it's going to be these little cylinder head ones. Oh, we're on the next page.
Whoa.
That's exciting.
Well, actually, we've gone past most of that because we've already done it all. Oh, there's donuts behind that.
There's donuts there. Hey, donuts. What are we looking at? I need these 2x5mm screws. That, I reckon, is going to be these ones. If I'm not mistaken, this handy little thing here. No, smaller. Smaller screws, Mr. Gray.
Smaller.
These ones.
Those little suckers.
Gonna need some of them. So if you,
I'm just
and a 1.5mm driver, please.
A 9 steps one?
Yeah, preferably, if we want it done right. That said, it was a little bit over clearance. It still might be too new. I've got to utilise it more.
Just sniffing off some more things.
Could you
here.
pass me that blue one, please?
The blue one?
It's too new. The Precision 9 steps and the brand new Tamiya screws is too much of a interference fit for me. So what I'm doing here is, again, I'm just literally just cutting this thread in and making sure it's nice and straight, because these are very easily stripped. People have a tendency to do them up too tight
wrench on them.
and wrench on them. Now all we're going to do is stop from rattling out. The thread and the head butting up. There's no O-ring seal on that, is there? No.
No.
Sometimes they use O-rings or Teflon washers, not in this case. So I'm just feeling where the end is.
You find the O-rings and Teflon washers and stuff are on the ones where it's an alloy
Yeah.
cap. This is just a plastic one. So
And the plastic ones are better. I'm just feeling for the end of it. That'll give me a reference point for when I'm doing it. Okay. I'm going to leave my tool loaded with the screw.
yes.
And I'm going to commence bleeding the first damper unit. Now, like Tony said, the surface is uninterrupted and no air coming up, so I'm not going to disturb the piston anymore. I'm going to do the cap up. Actually, I have not read the instructions here.
Yeah.
This is how I do it. I'm not sure what the book says at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah,
Now,
well,
I'm going to
Tamiya can
I'm
sue
gonna
us.
I'm gonna do it up until I feel it stop, and then undo it probably a quarter of a turn.
Turn.
Yeah?
Again, the same as me.
Yeah? Now all I'm going to do is I'm going to try and hold the shock at 45 degrees and make the air point the highest point in the shock unit. Yep. And I'm going to gently squeeze down.
And
We're seeing air come out.
oil come out. And with oil.
Yep.
Yep.
Nice and slow. And at this point I'm going to hold it down. Like I said, still holding at 45 degrees. And I'm going to go ahead
screw that
and
sucker
put mine
in.
in. Now I'm also holding the shock shaft down. So it's sort of squeezing the oil. And this is probably going to take 3 times, I reckon.
I'm not that precise. I do it once. Look at that. And there's no oil on your fingers at all.
I'm going to do that up, and then this is where, okay, it's where I can get a bit messy. Here we go. Got Nan's favourite rag. Nothing needs to be or should be more than finger tight. And the only reason I give it such a good job wiping it off is it's just going to create fingerprints and mess down the track.
On the nice alloy shock.
And then dirt will stick to it. Okay, now let's have a look how we went. I can feel that it's over full.
Yeah,
it's not compressing all the way.
Yep, you're getting a bit of resistance.
Getting a little bit of resistance.
And a bit of bounce back.
So, like I said, I'm gonna hold it at that point. I'm gonna try and get this on camera. So I'm holding it at that point because this is quite critical to getting nice shocks. I hope it doesn't make a lie out of me. So I'm gonna hold it at that point. I'm gonna release the screw. Not gonna take it all the way out until I feel the resistance change, which is, oh, the screw is coming a long way out, probably because the thread's so fresh. Oh, there we go.
There we go. Bit of oil coming out, a little bit.
Then I'm going to squeeze it together, put the screw back in. Gonna do it again. Gonna do it again. See what comes out. Put the screw nearly all the way out, all the way in. I'm calling it done.
Yeah.
That's it. No more, look.
Look at that. If only the other 3 were pre-done.
That's right.
But no.
But this is, like I said, this is the time-consuming part of your build, isn't it?
Yeah, there's nothing that takes longer than this. But once you've done it, you can usually leave it for a while.
That's right.
Unless you're super keen on getting the shock weights just right. But this isn't a full-on competition car.
I'm really happy with that. Have you been over here cutting my threads? No?
Nope.
All right.
I've been getting other stuff ready.
Oh. Is there anything that you can assemble while you probably need to look at the instructions, don't you?
Yeah.
Again.
Oh, it's okay, I've seen a fair bit.
You've seen a fair bit?
Seen it there. I'll happily leave that one. I could possibly start putting other bits of shock
That's
together.
what I'm saying. You can put that.
I could possibly put
Oh.
Oh no! Oh no!
Donut stained.
Donut stain instructions.
That wouldn't be the first time you've had that in your life.
No,
I might actually
but the good
get
thing
this. It's teasing me.
The good thing is later on when I go to look at the instructions for something, I'll see the donuts and
Walkers.
I'll have the donut stain will give me a memory of today.
Of me.
Yeah. And on second thought, maybe that's not a good idea.
I was just thinking about what you said then and thought, yeah. I'm gonna say it wouldn't be the first time you've been associated with a donut stain, though, is it?
No.
No.
No. I'm now having to concentrate because I have to look for something.
All right.
There we go.
And I am going to get bleeding, so to speak.
And I'll
People at home now are probably going to tune out, or maybe we can edit this bit out.
Yeah, well.
But there's no way to rush this, I'm afraid, guys. This is building shocks.
I'm going to start doing the shock collars and put the springs on.
So do you really do the shocks the same way?
Yeah.
Wow.
Virtually identical.
Because we have...
I think it evolves as you do it, because you've done it so many times.
I wonder... A brother from another mother.
I suspect Defina does it. No, Defina would have some other way.
He'll have a boffin way to do it.
Yeah. It wouldn't actually be any better, but...
It'd sound better.
Yeah.
I've actually got a vintage car to do some filming on from Defina. So I'm going to be doing some old lossy hard body shocks
Ooh.
on camera. So that's going to be a little bit different from these modern units, because you bleed them from the underside.
Oh, I've seen them, but I've never actually.
Were the associated ones, I'm tipping the early 80s, 90s, associated ones were similar as well. No cartridge at the bottom, like no screw hole, just a machined alloy top.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever built any though. I remember I have seen them though and thought, yeah, that's not fun.
I just wish they'd bring back the bladders.
Yeah.
Because in the on-road cars, there's still bladders.
Yeah.
In the 8 scale off-road, it's a tuning option to have bladders or emulsion.
It's a tuning option.
You can bet that my cars always have bladders in them. They're just a more consistent shock, I feel.
Yeah. Okay, I'll put the shock top on upside down.
Have you?
Yep.
That's all right.
Well, I had a 50% chance of getting it right. Now that I look at it, it was obvious how I should have done it. There's a fly that's in here, Brett. It's really annoying.
Is it?
Yeah, it's more annoying than BJ coming in.
Well, it's nearly that time. I wouldn't be surprised if he's sniffing around the door,
Well, he's
looking to make another cameo.
and possibly pinch a donut.
Yeah.
Oh,
We've got springs on.
I have a spring on. There's a spring in my step. Which there will need to be because it's raining outside. Oops.
That fly's still going.
Yeah, and
When's your donut?
I just shoot him away directly off to my microphone, so I'm sorry if it made a big noise.
Hopefully he'll land on the microphone and be buzzing around. That'd be a good little
Yeah,
tidbit.
it's more interesting than what we... I'm just going to stand that... No, I was hoping it might sort of sit there, but it won't. Oh well, that's okay.
Yeah, it's actually an 8 scale.
Yeah, I know, but I thought in the assembled version it might fit there, but no. We've gone a bit quieter now that we're actually both doing stuff, which just shows me how much shit I was talking.
Well, yeah, unfortunately it is.
I should be able to do both.
With bleeding shocks, it's taking all of my sensory.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah, well,
I'm
plus
using-
you've got to try and breathe at the same time.
That's right. And blink. All those things that come natural to people.
Yeah, not to us. Oh, you're right.
Mouth breathers.
You're right about the interference fit of the Tamiya screws and the 9 steps 1.5.
Isn't it tight?
Yeah, it's very tight. Look at those.
I am super happy with that. And they still look vintage.
Yeah,
No?
so do I, but I am.
Did you mount them in different ways? So the bleeder hole's there. Just thinking how we're going to adjust these. I reckon you've put this on wrong. Well, I'd reckon I'd do it differently. Let me have a look. So if that's a rear shock that's going to mount like that, I just want it to be very photogenic.
Ah, okay.
There is no left and right, and there's no right or wrong way. I'm just making it. Bit of OCD. Yeah? There is no left and right, is there?
No.
There we go. So that's going to fit under there. We'll make it nice and line up with that. Little bit of nuances. Is that fly still getting you?
Yeah,
It's gathering momentum.
He's quite attracted to me. It must be the odour that I put out.
A donut. It's because you're secreting pure.
You know, I haven't had a donut yet.
Haven't you?
No.
Now, we didn't actually make too much mess. We've finished with the shock oil.
Yeah.
Can put that away. Then will be happy. A favourite tea towel we'll see another day. The O-ring grease can go away. And like the rest of this build, I think those shocks are absolutely beautiful. And they're almost over specified for this car, but they look cool.
And the important thing is, because this is my car, I don't have to build them ever again.
Probably not. It's probably going to, see 3 batteries and sit on the shelf.
Maybe. Depends how much I enjoy it.
I hope
I
to see you at a
suspect I
club
will.
day. Any chance of getting it to a club day for a full, like a...
Yeah, there's always a chance. Look at that.
If you take it to a practice day and don't do donuts, that's good enough, isn't it?
Yeah. Man.
Look at that, front and rears. All right.
Oh, we've got lots of little balls to put in.
Oh, there I might get to use my fancy little pliers again.
You will indeed.
You have a flick over those instructions and tell me what I need to be doing right about now. You might have to go back a few steps because we should be screwing them on the car and stuff.
We should
shouldn't
be putting the front ones.
Now the
indeed.
reason, that's the deliberate reason I don't put the ball ends into the plastic is because if you
go in the bottom.
If you overbleed them, if you get oil everywhere, which I'm prone to do, you don't really want oil in there because it turns to valve grinding paste. And at that point, if you do get oil in there, you can clean it out. Once it's pressed together, it's pretty much in there.
Ooh, there's this.
Look, shut up and take my money. These are good. These are good. Shock pliers.
Where was my...
Now I'm putting these in. Let's have a look here. Now I think I might have explained it maybe on another build, but the plastic eyelets have got 2 distinct sides. Let's have a look here. You can see here the side with the molding and the side that's like flat, clean pressed. You want to put the ball in this side here. Now all the eyelet mountings will have that, whether it's an arm or a shock collar or whatever. So whenever you're pressing a ball in, you always want to press it in this side. Even diff gears, when you're doing a ball diff, you'll always have a slightly relieved side when they're injection molding. And that will ensure that you're not putting any undue wear or slop in the car before you build it. Yeah?
Yep.
And using these shock pliers also makes it a pleasant experience. Because worst comes to worst, if you over pop it, it just falls out the back. And same as if you're servicing it, you just push it on through.
Yep.
Push it through the side that you pushed it into.
Yeah, I'm pretty impressed.
Yeah?
Oh yeah.
I'm just baffled that we build shocks the same way.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
There you go. You learned something. What have we got?
Can you put the shocks on here?
You can marry the car up again.
Here is the chassis that I prepared earlier.
I'm just getting the zoomy out. All right, front shocks. They're the shorter ones of the 2.
Yep. These are A9s, these go in the upper mounts.
Now, believe it or not, the mounting of the... Could I have the 1.5 mil? The mounting of the bleeder screw is pretty important.
Where's the one? It is.
It's pretty important to the car because usually when we're during a day we'll have to rebleed the shocks, and by putting the bleed screw accessible means you have to get it off the car. Makes it a very simple process. Okay, so the bucket goes in the front. I need some screws.
These ones here.
16s and
16s
20.
and a 20.
And a 2 mil driver.
2 mil.
2 mil. That fly's tickling me.
Yeah.
Hey, he's a tickly fly.
Yeah, you got sick of me.
He's come over to the good stuff.
Thought,
He's
yeah,
going,
well,
oh, that tastes all right.
yeah, TFG, it's old meat.
Fly blown.
Yes.
Yeah? No, I wouldn't say that.
Nah, it's like beef jerky.
Leather.
Yeah.
Leather man.
Oh,
Well, it's better than pleather. It's too sweaty. You know,
Yeah.
it's definitely more stain resistant.
although that outfit I saw here the other night, it was really good.
It was. Squeaked a bit though, the
Yeah.
pleather one. Once you get sweaty, you start to squeak in your own clothes. It's not good. To keep making excuses.
Yeah. It's the sacrifices you have to make for fashion.
Whereas you just, function's number 1, no?
Oh yeah.
Arseless chaps all the way.
Oh. Look.
That'd be a good photo of you on the driver's stand.
That reminds me of a time many years. Why it's not directly associated, but someone super gluing Greg Collins's shoes to the driver's stand.
Did they? While he
Yeah.
was on the stand, did it work?
While he was racing, yeah.
Did it work?
And then he didn't notice. I think it might have been Justin Fagans. And then they hit it with some zap kicker to do it quickly. And when he went to
Did he get
walk
wild?
away, he fell over.
Did he get a bit upset?
He was mildly upset.
I can't mildly.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that he would have been too happy with that at all. Knowing Greg.
No. I believe, like everyone else, I believe he's mellowed a bit. Last time I saw him, he was pretty good with everything.
Talk about mellow. How's Tony P?
Well, he's on holidays at the moment, so
Oh, really?
nothing can upset him. But he still hasn't got enough time to watch any of our videos because he says they're rubbish.
Well, maybe if we talk about him enough.
He said, I said, but you're on holiday. You've got time to watch it. He said, there's never enough time to watch that shit. Actually, that's not true.
No?
He did watch the MBO1 videos with us in, and he said they're not informative, but they are entertaining.
Well, that's what we're trying to do, no?
Yeah.
Information is a byproduct of...
Yeah, I mean, if we happen to
actually-
provide something useful, I've just noticed I put the wrong bottom collars on here. For some reason, they're different.
Oh, there's different ones. Do I have to take the front off?
No, the front ones
Because
are
these
correct.
screws are quite generous, and you know, if you were really excited, you could probably drill out the front thread hole.
This is when the electric screwdriver that I use comes
Yeah,
into
but
its
I don't
own.
really
I
like
know you don't like them,
It's a very...
although they like you, but no. Now, when I'm screwing in that amount, I need this hand.
You need it?
I do.
It's got to hold the steering wheel, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, that was a good save.
Oh,
First the donut, now the screw.
yep.
That's a blessed instructions.
Oh, we've got a bit
We've
of
been
work.
going for quite some time now.
Yeah.
Have we got a big mover and shaker, or we need to call this episode off?
We're now at the... Oh,
How long have we got left?
what have we got left? We've got the trailing arms. We've got BJ. We've got to do the trailing arms, then we can put the rear shocks on.
Oh
Then-
my gosh.
Then after that...
I'm having a moment.
Are you? A crisis?
Crisis.
We could actually get it. I reckon another half an hour. We can actually call another maybe 20 minutes if we stop talking shit.
Well, that's not going to happen. I say we keep going.
I was going to say
Strap yourself
keep
in.
Keep it
Episode 3. Let's
Strap
go.
yourself in,
We're gonna keep going.
We're going to
Phil-
keep going.
You guys are crazy.
Why?
No, I thought,
We're going to get it done.
I think we can get it to the point where it can go in my bag and go home, and then come back in a couple of weeks.
What happened to all the donuts? You polished them already.
No,
There was a fly.
It was.
Man.
There was a
Oh,
fly.
it's been put away for safe measure.
All right.
I understand. All right. Well, if you want to keep going.
No, we'll keep going. We'll get
Good.
episode 3 will be...
Well, this is going to be a long one. All right.
Yeah. Well,
I'll leave you to it.
sometimes you need a long one.
Wow, look at that rear arm. That is way better than the one on my Frog. It's similar. I can see where it gets its pedigree from.
Yeah.
No?
Speaking of frogs, I read an interesting summation of the styling of most Tesla cars, as the front end looks like a frog that's just eaten something.
A frog that's just eating something.
And I liked that. I thought that was a really, really good analogy. Apologies to my brother-in-law David, who has a Tesla Model 3.
We need some goodies. There must be another screw bag to open. MD, metal parts, MD7. Have we opened that one?
I don't know.
I need some balls.
Well, we're going to need to do
We're
this.
going to need balls and drive shafts and buckets. That must be in there.
That must be in there.
That's it. That would have been part of MD7.
I
So, to
stand by
recap,
my decision to
recap
keep
on the
going.
instructions. Shocks are done. Front shocks are on. Now it's the rear trailing arms. Need some bearings, some drive shafts. Oh, we actually have to assemble the drive shafts.
Yeah.
That's nice. Do they give us any anti-wear grease?
No AW grease that I can see. I'll have a look in the box.
Because I do love...
I like Tamiya AW grease.
I do love it.
I'll just...
I might go... You can do some opening. I'm going to go and have a sniff around for some appropriate lubrication.
Okay.
And I'm still mic'd, so people can hear me while I'm foraging around.
Yeah. Love these trailing arms. So
What do you like most about them?
I just like the fact that, in spite of the fact that it's not a really great system, they use it anyway. Not as good as like the 5-link on a low-C, but that's another story. We'll just start on these here.
I'm back.
Oh.
I had to go see Nan.
Oh, okay.
It's one of my favourite drive shaft. Lubrication. And it's only a drop that we need, but it's a fuss of not having it.
Yeah.
Can't put them together dry. Look at these shocks. Have I shown you these shocks?
You have mentioned them.
That's nice. I'm really glad we went with that oil. Oh, I can see you pressing in there.
Yeah. Thought I'd just whack these in now while I know.
Well, you know what? That's right.
You've got the lubrication?
I have. Now, drive shafts. You don't need to go crazy. Just really, the pin and the barrel is all that needs it. Because the rest of it just flick off and make a mess.
If you have too much on there, it attracts too much dirt and shit.
Too much attention.
Yeah.
Are they grub screwed? Because this is about now where I put the... No. Are they clip? It must be clips.
Must be. Let me see. I'm having... Yes. Clips, which you have to make sure they go the right direction.
Directional clips.
Yeah. These are probably the swearingest things around.
Really?
Yeah, I find them very difficult because I've got fat fingers, so do you.
Not as fat as some.
Well, no.
Let's see what we can do.
Mr.
But
Solar, we're not talking about you.
they're like bratwurst sausages, aren't they?
Massive.
Hey? Now, where's my pins?
What are how does their...
These ones?
I think it could be those.
All right. So, drive shaft. So I've put the pin through the barrel. I'm going to try and zoom in here.
Yeah, you won't be able to zoom in enough to see that, I don't think.
I've put lined up the barrel with the hole. Now they've given us a couple of options for holes here, which is really good because when they wear, and they will wear if you ever play with it, you can then just go to the next hole around.
Yep.
Very serviceable, these drive shafts. CVs, constant velocity drives, isn't it?
Yes. Look at that.
Constant velocity joint, CVDs, and that is all you need. Now I'm going to put the clip on, and that's going to be retained in one of the holes.
And
is it?
Yeah, and there's a note saying note direction.
So it doesn't clip off. Okay.
I have in the past used an O-ring here instead of a clip. When the clips disappeared.
When I ever build CVs in my race cars, I always heat shrink them.
Yeah.
On road or off.
Yep, also a good one.
Because the heat shrink will not allow it to completely fly apart. So it's going to be retained in there. So I'm going to get the pin retained in.
I tend to get a little tiny screwdriver and just lever it over.
I'm going to try and use my nail if I can. Hopefully it's not too tight. I'm going to use the hole without the pin, is that right? Yeah, so you're looking at crossways.
There's no elegant way of doing this.
There's not, is there?
If there is, I don't know what it is. The worst ones are the double cardan joints where you've got to do two of them.
So I'll put it into the groove. Make sure it clips in nicely. And then hopefully this last click.
Or you can use your needle nose and they're over there.
I'm going to get some mechanical help.
quite there, but it's close.
Yeah, I'm definitely not well practiced at these.
No, look at that. That'll do.
It's sitting in the groove. It's nice and located.
And what that does is that snap ring, of course, holds it all so the pin can't come out.
So this one here is the right-hand side.
And it's important that you get the direction right, because if you get the
Can
direction
flick
wrong,
off.
it can expand too much and flip it out.
So this is the right-hand one, as per the book. Yep.
Yep.
So you can continue with that. The left-hand one, I just need to place it so I get a visual.
I'm just going to pull the chassis over here.
Going to go ahead on the second one. We can zoom out a bit so people can see what we're up to. Put the pin in. That clip was almost harder than the E-clips before. Here we go.
Here we go.
Alright, that one's in. Now direction wise. Is it good?
Oh, hand me the special Aeromax pliers.
Oh, you get to pop it. Get to do the pop.
My life was empty and meaningless up until this moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
You like that?
that.
Satisfying if nothing else.
Yep. There's no point me going on. I've achieved everything I could ever want to do. Apart from eating one of those donuts.
Well, that's on the cards.
Oh, that's going to happen. We may not do that live though.
We better turn the mics off as well because it sounded like a couple of pigs in the trough, won't it?
Oh, absolutely.
At least we'll stop talking for a second.
Yeah. I'll just talk to myself while I look for this. There we go. I know I'm off camera, but just assume that.
Is it?
I'm not now. Now I'm back on. That goes in here. Good, I've finally made a contribution to building my own car.
Here we go.
Oh. Well, that fell off.
Didn't it?
That's okay.
Is it?
No, it's all right.
What was it?
It was the drive shaft.
Shall.
I don't
Let me go down here.
Come on.
This is like. Oh, it's right under there.
This
Oh,
is
here it is.
this is family friendly, sir.
Is it?
Yes.
Sorry.
You're just lucky we didn't have those windy experiences that I've had in the past.
Is it? Could have lost my eyebrows. Is that what you're saying?
Something like that. Look at that, a trailing arm. That's nice.
Did you put the body clips in? Oh, we don't have any body clips available at the moment.
No.
Oh, that's why it fell out. See?
Well, that's one of the reasons it fell out. More than just one. Look at that.
Is it good?
Yeah. It's goodish. Yeah, we don't have any body clips.
Do you want to do some assembling over there and I'll do some chassis assembling?
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah. We're good. We're good.
So you've got the arm on.
We have the
Where's
arm
the
on.
shock? The shock's not on
The
yet.
shock's not on yet, but I just...
You didn't put the ball on yet.
No.
So I need the ball. It's going to be hard to get the ball on, so I need to do it underneath.
Okay.
Can you please pass me the ball, which is MD7?
I'm thinking this one.
And
That's got the look of MD7.
we're probably going to need two of these.
Not like this one as well.
Yeah, because we'll need one for the other arm
Yep.
at some point. I'll get this one.
You like the way I just went ahead and paid scant regard to the instructions.
That's right.
This is how I
and just made a mess. This is how it's done. Oh, that's why those buckets are there. Right, so I've got that on there. We can clip the shock on from the top. I'm sure that won't pose a problem. This is going to be perfect. That's the shock. Oh, hang on, that's not meant to have a... Oh, look, that was my fault. I went ahead and I over-popped.
Ah, you got so
Now I
excited
get a
using,
chance to...
using the Aromax
Look.
pliers, but now you can just push it out.
No harm, no foul, play on. He cried.
Ugh.
Put them to the side.
Never to be seen again. Actually,
Never
no,
to be
I'll-
seen again.
I'll put them back over here.
Come on. So again, same. Pop the ball on. Can sit the drive shaft in situ with everything in ride height. Well, you know, level. Now, how do I retain this shock? Is that the right shock ball? Something feels wrong here. No?
No.
All right.
We're good with
Give
it.
me the what
MA7.
retains the
This little sucker
this
here.
one. Okie dokes. And a 5.5mm driver or cross wrench.
Just-
It's all happening too easy now.
Yeah.
It's falling together. Absolutely falling together.
At some stage it will be falling apart.
Ah, this is a little bit awkward. Just a little bit. We're going to put the buckets in.
Mm-hmm.
The radius arms around the drivey shaft is. Right, so can I have the buckets please, sir? MB12s, 2 of them, and 3x16 screws.
12,
Yep.
3x6. I think they're 3x12s. We'll see. They are 3x12.
3x12s.
Yeah.
This has probably been the most challenging part of the build yet. Getting this to line up. There we go. Got one.
Yep.
Got 2. So I've got to sort of...
That's why they've got the cutaway on the rear of
Yeah.
this trailing arm, so you can get the tool access.
Yeah, but look at this. See?
Yeah.
So we need body pins.
Yeah. I'll find some.
It's making my life
There we go.
not very pleasant at all. Does it say in the instruction to have body pins? No.
No.
So it would make it... We could write them an email.
Can you please add this in?
It's only because I've got it on its side, but I sort of need that up on its side to get the light in there.
Or otherwise you cannot see, Captain.
And the first side, I guarantee, is going to be the harder side. Pop that in there for me, mate. Oh, that is teamwork. There's a lot of things that I thought had happened in this build. Teamwork.
It's not
Probably
one.
not one of them.
No.
All right.
Normally this would be a sweary bit, I think.
No.
No?
Sort of adjustable camber though. That's sort of quite unique, isn't it, for a trailing arm?
Hmm.
The way that they've done that.
I wonder why they went for a trailing arm rather than a
I
conventional
think it's more,
A-arm.
more aesthetically pleasing.
Hmm.
Do you think?
Yeah, I like it. It sort of says old school to me, which I quite like. Even though they were very... I suppose a lot of the earlier cars did have them. Did AYKs have them? No doubt someone will correct me if I'm full of shit.
No. They wouldn't do that.
Yeah, they would.
What car hasn't had trailing arms? RC10?
There was an A&L conversion kit for them. It did trailing arms.
There was?
There was.
Apparently there's one of them coming to the bash. Apparently it's something special.
Yeah.
Yeah?
There's very few of them around.
Not surprisingly. You and I both
Which
know who's got 3 of them.
That would be Mr. Defino.
I'm not saying who. Don't know who's watching, don't incriminate anybody.
Only 3
Well, that he's said that he...
that he's aware of. There may
allegedly.
be more.
Look at that.
Oh, that's good. Oh, we're liking that. Hang on.
Hey?
I need to do the squishy suspension bit. Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Nice. Got the right spring retainer on the bottom. Everything looks good. A lot of flex there. Why is there so much flex on the top?
Yeah, but we also don't have the
The brace, there must be
Yeah.
more bracing going
Yeah.
on. Because that's squidgy even for
squidgy.
squidgy. Can I have a clip? Let's start with a clip and the next trailing arm. Thank you, Gonzalo.
It started with a clip.
Started with a clip. And then I'm going to need the ball, whatever that number
That
was.
one.
We'll get that in now without doing everything all sideways. Now, what was on the chassis? On
Oh,
the
that was
front.
it, yeah.
Oh, you pressed it into the arm. Ah, that's why you
That's
got.
already
That's
done.
where the glee come from.
Yeah,
There's no ball in this arm,
that's because I didn't want to do it all, have all the fun myself.
is it?
Yep.
If it's fun to be had, balls to be pressed on there. Here we go. Oh, it's tight. Tight like a tiger. Oh!
Yeah, but all more satisfying when it actually finally goes in.
All right, now what I'm going to do here, I'm not going to put the shock on first. I'm going to put this bottom one on.
Oh, they're for
See
the
if
front.
I can't get my... Oh, that's for the front mount?
They're for the front mount.
The front goes the bucket from the inside. Where's that? Where's that bit? Yep.
There.
Oh, washer.
Yeah, there's a washer.
Oh, that makes it a bit awkward, doesn't it?
Nah, it's fine.
Is it?
Yeah, I managed to get it in. Must be easy.
Well, it's more common in my own dexterity than yours, I think. How tight are those clearances with the buckets and the balls? Aren't they lovely?
Yeah.
Because if you don't have them 100% straight, they will not offer up. And that goes into that nut. Oh, I'm glad that they didn't just put it into plastic. That's that captured nut that we put in like step 1.
Yeah.
Step 1's probably incorrect, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
All right, I'm not going to do that all the way up home because the more movement here, I feel the better. I've got, what screws do I need here for the bottom? 3x16s.
Yeah.
Have we got them?
We don't appear to have enough.
3x16s.
Yeah. We may have inadvertently used one somewhere else that we weren't supposed to.
There is,
It won't be Tamiya's fault. It'll be ours.
no, don't say that.
Oh, look, I'm pretty confident. I think we can probably use a 3x12. It won't matter because they screw in a long way.
A heck of a long way.
Yeah.
I'm just leaving it all a little bit loose to give me a bit more access.
There'll be people screaming at the video. You idiots! You did that. Yeah. Well.
Somebody's going to know exactly where that screw is.
Yeah.
They would have seen us put it in there.
Yeah. They'll just
Hopefully, if they've watched it closely.
they'll rewind and go back. That's where it was. Look and see. You've got like miles and miles and miles. So a 12 is perfectly adequate in there. I decree.
I definitely agree. I'm not saying that a 16 might not eventuate in there.
Yeah. Do not over tighten.
Which ones?
All of them.
Oh,
Why are
yeah,
you doing that?
all of them. That's a handy tip.
Yeah.
Oh, this far in.
Yep.
That's one of my favourite steps. You know what you're doing now?
Well,
Is it one of yours?
Yeah, because it means, well, they generally, I
do it
think
at
a
the
lot of
start.
people do it at the start.
I do it at the start, on the unboxing.
Yeah.
It's funny that there's no inserts for the front when the rims are exactly the same front and rear.
Yeah.
The tyres are different. It's like the same technology and engineering they use with the truck racing platform.
Ah, yes.
Yeah? Just a deceptive eye. Where it's the same wheel,
These are nice and shiny.
aren't they?
I just thought, we're actually at the point pretty soon where we're going to be able to put this on.
I'll be able to take those body clips out. Now I'm just going back over, unwinding it and doing it up to make sure that it's seated correctly. This way has been far less stressful,
Yeah.
less sweary. I can do this front one up. Make sure I'm offering the shock up nicely. You've done it again.
That was just a bit of sprue, it doesn't matter.
Was it?
Yeah, so I don't care
That's
about
the
that.
best place for the sprue.
Yeah, we don't need it. I'm gonna.
You said that about the 16mm screws. You're ruthless.
Yeah, I know. I just don't care. Because we can't have donuts until we finish this. So
It's holding us up.
yeah. All right, no inserts.
Just double checking these top shock mounts. Tell me that this is not a buggy looking buggy.
It's just
Okay.
it's old school in every sense of the word.
And I think you can agree we've done a fine job of those shocks. I can definitely see why the Frog's such a good runner. Okay, enough of fettling with that thing. I love hearing you struggle, by the way. That's really... Oh, Nerf bars. Oh, Nerf bars and roll cage. This is where it's really going to start to take shape. B1, B2... And neither of these are Bs, are they?
Probably not.
These, it might be, is it black? There's a J. J and
Yeah, B.
J2. There we go, that looks like Nerf bars, if ever I've seen them.
Well,
Allegedly,
if ever you've seen them. it's
if
right
ever
there.
I've seen them. M3x8s, lots of M3x8s.
I'll interrupt my tyre assemblage to
Proceed with the
bring-
instructional
to
build.
bring you the B2.
Hotly awaited parts.
That's the
The
B2.
banana too. The B2 goes on this side.
Next time I come in here, I want new godhead pliers because these ones that are slightly wrecked, unless you get it in just the right spot, it doesn't cut.
You have to gnaw at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's actually the rail guys are really quite hard on them
Okay.
when they're doing rail and stuff, I believe.
So who do we blame? Dan?
No, I don't know. I thought it was me cutting 10 gauge copper wire sometimes, but I don't think that's really going to damage the...
The godhand pliers are not the right.
Oh, but they work.
Yeah, they work, but it destroys them.
At the detriment of their own health.
Oh, a nice little nod here. The tyres are marked Tamiya Rough Ride.
I know, I was going to say they're
like that.
they're very TFG.
That's a nice thing. It's a nice little nod.
I just wish
to
they called the
plastic.
front one Smoothie. Could be a rough ride on the back and a smoothie on the front.
Well,
And I love a smoothie.
now these should be glued on, but for the moment I'm not going to.
If it's going to be a shelf queen, doesn't need to be.
No, it's not going to be a shelf queen. None of my cars are shelf queens anymore. They may be queens, but not shelf. I cut all these bits off earlier and we didn't use them.
It's probably that time when we went rogue off the instruction sheet and we're just freeballing it.
Yeah, I do
I'm
that.
concerned about these metal washers.
Yeah, that's okay.
That's okay, be
That's
concerned.
okay. We'll find out.
I hope so.
When I get this home and go to, why doesn't this work?
Nerf bars,
Yep.
aren't they a thing of the
Oh, I remember we used to have big, enormous front bumpers on them too. When
big
we all first
Kydex
started.
ones, huh?
Yeah, and that's long gone. I know the body
Because
shell.
they got in the way of clearance, I suppose, no? When the front end's trying to compress.
Yeah, doing the little cartoon on the body shell that I'm currently painting, and it's got the
big
big
one.
white. I'm looking at it going, oh, I remember them. I'm thinking, I can't remember who
How's
made
that
them.
body shell coming along?
It's progress is slow, mainly because I'm in here today.
B7. That's the rear roll bar. B7. M3 by 10s. Need two of those. 2 by 5s. So these have got a retained nut in them. It's not one of my favourite things.
No, you don't want it retained.
Excuse me. That'll give them a shock. 2x5s, here they are. We haven't lost anything. A3s. Oh, you've got the A3s?
I will have in a minute.
Been needing my 1.5 mil, I dare say.
A3, oh, that's a little
It's
tiny
going to
sucker.
be a little flap.
Yep, A3.
That's the clinical name for it. Clinical?
Clinical?
Yeah.
Technical.
Technical. You know what I meant.
Mechanical.
Mechanical name. That's the retaining flap for the captured nut. For without that, it's not retained.
No.
It'll just fall on out.
Ass. I'm just going there.
Are you?
Yep.
But this, it's good that they have put retaining nuts in there, because plastic threads of this size in this soft plastic would not be very serviceable. They'll probably be alright for the first assembly, but when you try and change motors or actually service the car,
Yep.
first, third or fourth time you assemble it, you'll find all the screws will just pull through.
Yep.
Won't they? Not now.
I just cut this out thinking, oh, J7, but that's actually not the part. This is the part which I cut off. So,
It's
yeah.
quite time for sugar, isn't it?
Well, no, it's never
When
time.
when we're going to start fitting sprue parts,
Hey, if it works.
here we go. Being really gentle with these 2mm threads for obvious reasons. They're doing nothing other than retaining the flap. So this one goes on from underneath.
We are so close to the end of this main assembly, aren't we?
Aren't we?
Very, very close. Because on the very next page of the instructions, these go on.
Do they?
They
So
do.
it's going to be hexes and it's going to be all hexes and
Yeah, good point.
pins.
I'll get the hexes ready.
Hexes and pins
Not noodles and
and
pins.
spaces. Do have 4 washers there that look very much like they go behind a hex or something, I hope.
Yep.
Looking good. BBX. Sounds like a action hero, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Look at that. Okay, John, and this is where those retained nuts are. And that is going to offer up into here, isn't it?
Yes.
Like yay.
Like yo.
It's going to stiffen up the rear shock tower. And there's another dunga.
J8.
Is that J8s?
There.
Ah, those ones.
But give me that anyway. 'cause
You'll probably need that
probably
too.
I'll cut that off.
Does that go on now or after? That can go on after, I think. There's that much flex in this thing. I think that it'll go in situ as we go. I actually need that part now before this one goes on.
That one.
Yep,
Lucky I cut it off.
I know, right? Because that's going to sit like yo. Going to pinch on there. 3x12s.
We might need some more, I think.
Three.
We've got some in here.
Have we?
Yeah.
Probably got 3x16 in there as well, have we?
No, it's
Not going to leave that one down.
It's gone to another place.
It's gone to another hole.
It's gone to a better place.
3x12, I can put one on in. Did you fish one out for me? There we go. No,
There it is.
I need countersunk.
Ah! It's a sad indictment of our lives that we can just look at the screw and know exactly
I know what it is.
Yeah.
Well, we're only using, what, like 8 screws on this car,
Yeah.
I want to say.
I remember the
And it's
MBO one was mainly 3x10s, which is
Very
a
much like
wonderful thing for
like
me.
a TTO2 build or TTO1 build, for example.
Or an
Very
MO3.
similar.
Which,
MLO3. It's been a long time since I've had the joy. Got one sitting in a drawer at home that could do with a birthday. Still got a black can in it. Actually got to take the black can out and put it in the frog. A proper black can, a black can.
A black, as opposed to the newer ones, which
is just a,
which aren't black cans, which is just
silver can with a black sticker.
With a different sticker on.
That's right. It's just not emotive enough for me. 2x6, 2.6 by 10. They should stick out like dogs. These
Oh,
ones.
they were tiny little suckers.
2.6 is it? That's
Yeah.
the ones. It's good that they threw those in. They obviously couldn't tool up a nut big enough to take the M3 because that would have made sense.
Yeah.
On so many levels. They would have done it definitely deliberately.
This is when the structure comes into its own.
Doesn't it?
It'll start to hang together, as opposed to be a big floppy wobbly mess. Hoping you are the same.
But it makes it nice and serviceable. Like it looks difficult to work on, but really it's not. Not that it's not involved,
Yeah.
but it's definitely well engineered. These top ones are 3x12s again.
Countersunk again? Is that a 3x12 or a 3x... Oh, it's close. Yeah, it'll do.
They might be in the pile there. You're going to have to take these off to put the radio in anyway.
Yeah, I know. But that's my problem, not yours.
Well, I'm gonna have to hear about it on broadcast worldwide, I bet.
Yeah.
Oh, look what I found, you'll say.
Bloody Brett.
Well, it's been a fabulous build. Definitely coming to a closure. I'm really looking forward to seeing your paintwork. I'm actually looking forward to seeing it on track as well, as long as it's sensibly powered.
Well, I've got that Tamiya 23 turn, which is not too overpowered.
No, and I would strongly recommend getting the optional slipper unit for it.
Yes.
Because it just won't handle without it. I'm convinced. Okay, now there's another cross member part to go in. These ones here. So looking at it, this one locates here. Ah, right. Makes perfect sense. So the bottom screw is... What is the bottom screw?
There isn't.
Definitely has a screw in it. Must be these ones. No?
Maybe it's maybe that. Oh.
The top screw.
And
top
that's
screw.
all.
So there's another 2.6 by 8. There's more 2.6s.
Yeah.
More 2.6s than you can poke a stick at. They're not in here, are they? Are they 2.6s?
One way to find out.
Have a poke around. I wonder why they've gone for the 2.6s over 3s.
I'm going to put them here. Whoa. Is that it? Yeah.
There we go.
Those suckers.
These ones. And then what's the countersunk one in the top? The last thing I built that had 2.6s was my comical wheels.
Oh yeah, because you got to
Yeah,
put
that
that
little-
little insert.
Look at that. That's the top one. So you got them sitting there for me, is it?
Yep.
No, it's a square head. Oh, that's a 2.6 in the top. Sorry, I put it in the bottom. Didn't I?
You're always putting things in the bottom that you shouldn't.
Well, I just wonder if it's better to ask permission or seek forgiveness in life.
Yeah.
You know, like...
Yeah. A little from column A, a little from column B.
First, you don't try.
Oh, we're starting to flag now because we're at like an hour and a half.
Is it?
Yeah.
We're flailing.
Yeah, we're starting to fall apart.
So, and the bottom one, it's definitely a cylinder head.
Yeah, but it doesn't.
Do we have more of them? What if it's the same screw?
Yeah, we've got 4, so.
Because it would make sense to go in there because it's a small cylinder head.
Yeah. I'm going to stay with that. It doesn't actually mention.
Well, we might have actually taught somebody something. Hey? I'm
No.
sure they would have figured it out.
Yeah.
There's the
Come on.
dung here. There we go. The dung there.
I'm getting the 7mm
Are you ready?
ready because
You're gonna wheel it.
the next thing is we're going to put wheels on this sucker.
I'm gonna make it so.
Yep.
It's not all floppy now.
No.
It's a space frame, tubular designed space frame.
Oh, look at the profusion of little washers and stuff on the rear wheel.
2 of them. Yeah, so 2 on each rear wheel.
Yeah.
None on the front.
And a C6 spacer.
Well, that's why we've got 4.
What's the chances of those spacers staying there forever?
The C6s.
Yeah. I'd say minimal. Every time we pull the wheels off, that's it.
Do you reckon they're going to come off?
I reckon so.
Where are you seeing C6 spacer?
I'm seeing C6 spacer just
That's
there.
behind the bearing.
Yeah.
So the bearings that have come out.
Okay. Well, I just pushed them in because they fitted. This is another case where I've just jumped ahead
Oh.
and paid scant. We've got an awful lot of screws left over, Brett.
No, but there's a lot of bodywork to go on yet.
Oh, that's true.
Let's not gloss
Yeah.
over that fact.
Yeah, I
that there
pulled the
is
bodywork out of its plastic
awful-
cases and went, oh, this is hard work.
There's an awful lot of bodywork to go on.
Yep.
Now, I'm not going to do too much butchering here. I'm just going to take this off, hopefully. Can slide the drive shaft out and then poke the bearing out.
Just when we got excited and thought we could put wheels on.
That's all right. We have the technology. Nice and floppy. This is the technical way to do it. There goes my bucket.
Yep.
All right, drive shaft in. Into the out drive. Put the top arm mount on.
This is a minor hitch.
It's not the worst thing I've done today.
No.
No?
I'm sure you did other things worse.
I'm glad now that I got this one out of the way. The best thing about it is when I actually find the hole, it'll already be threaded.
Yeah.
And it'll glide together. There we go.
I think it's good that we get things wrong because it shows people that we're human. Well, I am, but I don't mean.
No, definitely not.
It also shows people that we just jump ahead sometimes and don't really pay attention.
But how serviceable they are. Like, these things are designed to be worked on.
Yep.
So don't ever be scared to take apart your RC car and service it and put it back together. All right, now 2 spacers.
My wife likes it when I get new cars because being an engineer girl, she enjoys looking at all the little engineering things on them.
Really?
Yeah.
So she does enjoy the finer points.
She does enjoy that.
She could probably help you with a better setup, I'm tipping.
Nah.
No, not the dynamics.
No, she just likes looking at the machining and stuff. She'll love the alloy shocks. And stuff.
Yeah?
Yep. She'll like all that.
Are
Even
the
though
hexes the same front and rear?
I'm thinking that there's just they are the same.
First wheel
Oh,
is shod.
you're all.
Yeah, you can do this one. Look at that, teamwork. The capital T. There's no I in team.
No, but
There's a U in something.
Yeah.
I forget now.
Uranus.
Well, could be.
Look at that. Oh,
I was going to say that diff's bloody loose, but that's the gearbox spinning. I was going to say, I wouldn't have built the diff that loose, because it'd be like falling apart on itself.
No, we did a good job with the diff, I remember.
I don't think there's anything on this car that hasn't been a good job. And I'm really looking forward. I know the body shell is going to be something that you absolutely smash out of the park.
Oh, I've got in mind a hippie scheme from the 70s maybe,
Yeah?
which is even earlier than what this car is supposed to represent, but I just like the idea of doing that. Thinking, yeah, hippie
Hippie it up.
it up.
This crush tube though that we did forget is critical. You do want to make sure you have that in,
Yep.
because otherwise you will destroy the hubs and the bearings in the car. The bearings will get hot because they'll be pressed up against each other. There'll be friction, and that will destroy the plastic hub before the first battery's flat, I reckon.
You could well be right.
It might only seem like a plastic spacer, but
There's
it's,
a reason for it.
yeah. And that's so when you do the wheel up tight, that will crush the inner race to the inner race of the bearing, won't it? Taking up all the play, but also ensuring that the two bearings are.
Yeah.
Here we
I
go.
note here, these are the foam inners that I didn't
The
put
foam
in.
inners
That I
that you
didn't
didn't
put
put
in.
in?
I deliberately didn't put them in because I knew I was going to pull this apart to.
To paint it.
No, not to paint it, but I knew I was going to pull it apart to glue it properly.
Yep.
So.
That
and
sounds
plus
like.
I'll probably
That
trim.
sounds like a cop out.
No, I'll probably trim the foams anyway.
Really?
Do you? Well, I don't know whether you do it, but I always
Cut the corners off
cut the
at
corners off.
45 degrees.
Yep. See, once again, we both do the same thing.
Here you go, Mr. Gray. I'll offer this one up to you.
And I'll accept
Hang on a
your
second.
offer.
No, you won't.
No?
I have made a small mistake again.
No.
No, I have. I have. That's twice today.
Aha! The two little washers.
Because they usually don't have such things, but
No, there's a degree of precision.
yeah, I would expect either one, like a spacer, or nothing. And what that does, those two spacers will protect the hex from cracking. I'll keep it, again, I'll do up on the inner race and keep the hex from cracking.
Again, I'm struggling. Ah, there we go.
Found the hole and located. We've engaged.
We have engaged.
Engaged hex. Now apply the
That
correct
fly's
torque.
gone too, I've noticed.
Is it?
I think it followed BJ out.
Probably in a little donut box, I reckon. Front. Is there any suspicious activity with the front hexes that I need to be aware of?
Nope. Everything normal. No spaces, nothing.
No,
just
because
goes
we did that. I have just holding my finger on the back of the stub axle there. Sort of making it probably look a lot easier than a lot of people find it, because if you don't do that, you'll just be chasing it around the wheel. So it comes from years of hex front wheels. How does it feel?
feeling
I
good.
can see that they've done lock nuts, which is nice. Gives that nice ring of confidence there that your wheel's not going to fall off.
We like a confident ring.
It's better than using Loctite or serration.
Yeah.
No?
Oh, I hate those serrated ones.
Serrated nuts in on-road cars.
I don't like them.
The modern buggies as well. But of course, when the serration wears, your wheels fall off.
Yeah.
Or if you put your wheel nut on backwards, like the 8-scale wheel nuts are very flat and low profile. If you're not paying attention, you don't put the serration side into the wheel, it'll just undo itself.
This is an important moment. This is the last fasten
nut.
for today, anyway, I think. Well, for here on the live show. And
Don't cross thread the last one, we'll be in trouble.
Oh, it wasn't working there for a minute. The pressure was on.
Was it?
Yeah.
I can see the sweat of your brow. What a superstar. You've actually nailed this one.
Look at that.
Look at that. That, my friends,
That, sir,
is a buggy.
is a nice rolling chassis.
I need some preload though, because that looks horrible.
Yeah.
I just want it to at least have a stance.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to see a floppy buggy, do
You
they?
can have it fully dumped though, bro. Look at that. I've never got...
Supple, yet
Oh,
sweet.
that's nice. That is nice.
I think when it's got a bit of weight in it, i.e. the electronics, it's going to be really cool. And it's still got the dimensions of like an old buggy. I don't know how to put it. The new buggies, they just have a different dimension.
Well, they're so low profile.
Low profile, low center of gravity, and they're just like squashed and wide.
This is what you and I started with.
That is fantastic. Wow. That is episode 3, a marathon episode.
A marathon episode?
But we've done the shocks, got the rear trailing arms on, got all the shocks mounted, obviously the axles in, and yeah.
Neither of us needed to stop to go to the toilet.
No. Beautiful diff.
Yeah.
Will require a little bit more adjustment. I've just got my finger in there just to activate that. It's something about diff action that I really enjoy.
Okay.
I like a good diff.
Don't
Here you
we
go,
all?
Mr. Gray. There is your car. Now, guys, we will be doing episode 4 on this, and that car will be coming back into the studio in a finished state. I've been promised. And then, yeah, we'll have a quick overview. Don't worry, the next episode will probably be about 10 minutes. I can't see it going for an hour and a half.
Yeah, no, I can't see it going for an hour and a half either.
So, guys, I hope you've enjoyed it. Episode 3 of the build, the rolling chassis is complete. It's going to have the electrics fitted, be painted, and we'll finish this one off.
It's going to be fully sick, bro.
I'm Brett from Hearns, and
I'm
he's
Tony
Tony
Gray.
Gray, and thanks for watching.